El Presidente, Broadmoor Neighborhood Association. Mr. Rob, how are you today?
Fine.
We got to clear some things up.
Well, we started this topic yesterday in the 6 o'clock hour, and then it carried over a little bit to 7. Then over into the 8 o'clock hour, we had a chat with Matthew Lynn, and that didn't go well. And look, I certainly, I've known Matthew. I mean, we're not friends, but we see each other around all the time.
He was guarded.
And I didn't mean for that to become contentious, but here's the deal. There's been a story floating around for a few days. You tell me, and this is a social media story, which means it probably isn't true. And what we tried to find out was, is there any veracity to the story? So tell me what the story was.
Story popped up on social media that there were whites, vigilantes, I guess is the best word to use. Let me finish. Armed, roaming around Broadmoor, stopping African-American kids, asking them what they're doing in that neighborhood.
Well, not only Broadmoor, but also Highland and South Highlands.
Yes, Broadmoor was the focus in the first posts. It was the key. And that post on social media spread like wildfire. It went crazy. I was getting screenshots of it. I even asked the mayor about it more than a week ago, 10 days ago. She said nothing to it. You know, if there is, we're going to investigate. That's where I left it. I didn't want to stoke the fire and, stir, because that stirs up racial tension, and we don't need any more of that.
What stirs up racial tension is that being on Facebook. What hopefully calms whatever racial tension there might be would be somebody coming on and telling us, no, someone in a position of authority or power, an elected official perhaps, coming on and telling us, no, that's not really what happened. But no one so far has been willing to do that.
Right.
Mr. Rob Broussard, Broadmoor Neighborhood Association, bluntly put, and I apologize for phrasing it this way, are there gangs of armed white vigilantes harassing black youth in the Broadmoor neighborhood?
No.
What? How did this story get started, man?
Well, it was brought to my attention, and if I may, I'll tell the story. The Shreveport police called and said, do you have a few moments? Can we meet with you to talk to you about some things? And I said, sure. So they came over, and they said, are you aware of these posts that have been put online? And I had not even seen the post. And they started showing them to me, and they asked me if I knew these individuals. I didn't know a single person that had posted those blogs online.
So, pardon me, it was on individual the Facebook members' pages.
Well, and that's part of this story is the Broadmoor Neighborhood Association Facebook page does not encourage dialogue. We use that to
like
advertise what we're going to be doing, and then if you look on Facebook, there are multiple pages that have Broadmoor in them. Well, when the police said, "Well, this is on y'all's Facebook page," I said, "No, it's not." And it wasn't. It was on a different Facebook page.
Having to do with Broadmoor.
And it had to do with Broadmoor. Well, Channel 6 then came in and did a wonderful report with us, but inadvertently put a picture of our banner as the picture to focus readers or watchers' attention to the story. And immediately, everybody associated Broadmoor Neighborhood Association and the Broadmoor neighborhood with these threats. We don't know, I don't know to this day whether those people even live in Broadmoor. So
were the threats real? Was there one guy? Were there a couple of guys actually doing what these posts claimed?
Well, again, you have to go back to the story as told to me by the Shreveport police. There were racial remarks made, veiled threats, but as the police, I asked the police point blank, where are these posts? And they said they were on multiple Facebook pages, and they were not in a contextual language, one blog. So whoever took the screenshots took a screenshot from this blog, and then it took another screenshot from this blog. They forwarded to different elected officials who then contacted the mayor. And the mayor is absolutely right. If there was a threat made, you report it to the police. They would investigate, and they would look into the situation. And if there were threats, the police would handle it.
But as far as action, as far as anybody acting on those Facebook threats, you have no evidence of that. You have no reports of that anywhere.
No, and again, if we go back to the story, what actually happened, the people who administered the Facebook pages, when they saw these posts, they immediately took the post down. That's what administrators of a Facebook page do.
So as president of the Broadmoor Neighborhood Association, what do you, Mr. Rob Broussard, what do you, Mr. Rob, want people to know this morning?
Well, there are several things. Number one, we're not the social media police. Anybody can write anything they choose to write on a Facebook page. It's up to the site-based administrator to determine whether it fits on their page and or whether they need to block the poster or not. But the other thing that needs to be talked about is what those people were advocating without the use of guns. Okay, I kept pointing to a sign outside my residence that says Neighborhood Watch Program. That's a national program. One of the things that program advocates, and I've told this to every person in the media that I've talked to, is that neighborhoods get together and patrol their neighborhoods. Now, that's not saying patrol with arms and with guns in your car.
Watch out for each other.
They would say watch out for each other and report whatever suspicious activity that you see. Now, if you take the next step in that process, and I'm going to challenge the media to do this, in fact, all of your listeners.
Before we let you go, and we thank you for coming in, there were a couple of more points you wanted to make. What were those?
Well, number one, and this was made to the Shreveport police too, I asked them point blank, of the people that you noticed that were writing on this Facebook page, how many of those people were victims? Right now, our neighborhood is under assault by criminals coming in, stealing cars, holding people up at gunpoint, and literally robbing people blind. Our neighborhood is a quiet neighborhood. We are a diverse neighborhood. We promote people getting together and experiencing what a wonderful place is that we live. We also have tutoring programs that one of the commissioners mentioned the other day that provides opportunities for kids of all ethnic backgrounds that ride the bus and their parents drop them off in cars or pick them up in cars that are not in any way, form, or fashion endangered. And for elected officials to make comments like we need to suspend programs like that until we can put this matter to bed, it's reprehensible.